Hello there, it's Colleen Sedgwick with Pet Nanny Coach. I am here today with Ed Ristau from Especially for Paws in Cleveland, Ohio. Ed was a member of my past Multiply Mastermind, and he's here to talk about his experience in the program. Hi, Ed.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding.
Good. All right, Ed, thank you so much for your time today. If you could first tell me, how did you come across Pet Nanny Coach and me? Do you remember?
Yes, well, it's actually, I don't know the specifics because it was actually quite a long time ago, I think like years. So I was on a some kind of marketing, pet sitting marketing email list, and you did an interview with whoever was running that list. And I watched it and I was like, hey, she seems to have her stuff together. And obviously then I went and I checked out the Pet Nanny Coach website as well as the Pet City, the main line, the actual Pet City, and everything looked like, again, impressive, well put together. And I signed up for your email list and I took advantage of a couple of your freebies, and everything the small things were actionable, and they had an immediate positive impact. And when this came up, well, we can get into that later, but we jumped on it. So
I'm so glad you did. And Ed and his wife Jen were like my star students. You really embraced this whole idea of automation. So for those of you who don't know, Multiply Mastermind is all about team building, automation, systems, and processes so you can scale and multiply your pet sitting business. And Ed really grasped onto the automation part. I know a lot of people had some roadblocks with it, fear around it, but you really decided to dive in head first, learn about it, and start implementing right away. So I commend you for that. You also were one of my members who showed up every week to the calls, which was important because showing up live is always, you're always going to have a more powerful experience. All right, so why don't you tell us what problems and struggles you were having with Especially for Paws when the Multiply opportunity was presented?
So, well, I'm going to toot our own horns a little bit. The business was it was healthy, me and my wife. But this is the sole way we make our living, and the business was providing in the sense that we were paying our bills, paying our mortgage, as self-employed with a small young family, we're paying our health insurance and all of the bills that come along with that. But we were in a constant state of reaction. Everything was reactionary. The business was imposing its will on us instead of us imposing our will on the business. And plus just the amount of time that we were putting in and we were working, we knew that we needed to make a decision. And actually, Colleen, when you started kind of advertising about the Multiply, we were in almost like at a fork in the road where things were going okay, but growth was stagnant, and I was working a ton. We needed to make a decision of either continue to tread water or take this to the next level, and really grasp what we wanted. And when we talked to you and we saw how Pet City of the main line is, that's the kind of business that we wanted. And we know we needed to scale, we know we needed to automate, we know we needed a marketing strategy. We just had no idea where to start. So a long answer to your question, our situation was we were kind of in a state of stagnation, in a state of overwhelm, and we needed guidance.
Okay. And had you tried anything else before joining Multiply in terms of business building strategies? Anything else out in the marketplace that you weren't getting results from, or were you just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, learning as you go?
Learning as we would go. When you're doing 15 to 20 visits a day and you have two small children, the idea of jumping in and diving into books for small business marketing, or even going to the internet and just looking things up and trying to implement things, it's daunting. And everything that, like, again, everything we did was reactionary. We got a few new clients, then we would hire. We would never proactively hire. We get a couple new clients from a new area. Then we're, guess what? We're in that area. There's no strategic planning or anything along those lines. So
Right. Okay. So we were on the phone, we spoke about the Multiply Mastermind. I gave you the information, and, I think some fear came up for you guys. Obviously, you have a very young family. Like you said, you're in this fork in the road with the business. You're not sure which way you want to go. Can you talk a little about that and like the fear you had that came up with making the investment?
Well, yeah, like I said, the fork in the road, it was, basically it was either we're going to take this to the next level or we're done. We need we need to move on, and to find something else to do. And while I said the business was healthy, it's not like we were rolling in money over here. And we, like we've said before, we have a young family, and the money commitment was definitely a major talking point and decision when me and Jen were talking. And but we decided that we need to step up, because we didn't want to take the other fork.
Right.
We wanted this to work. So I was on my cell phone talking to my wife while on our way to a visit, and this is kind of basically the conversation that we had. We either need to step up or get out. And we were both worried, because it is for our family a major financial commitment. But we wanted this to work, and we know we needed help, and we needed somebody who has been through the wars and has been through the grind and knows what we're going through. So yeah.
It was worth it?
Yes, 100%.
Good.
100%.
Well, I love to hear that. So what I always tell everyone I speak to, and for those that went through the mastermind, is that it's all about tangible outcomes that you walk away with. So it's not theory. It's, here's a system, implement it and get results. Here's a strategy, implement it and get results. You mentioned your 3 most tangible shifts. So 3 things that you implemented in your business that got you immediate results were automation, creating your standard operating procedures, and you've now become the owners of the business and not just the workers in the business. So can you talk about those 3 shifts?
Definitely. So the automation part kind of just speaks for itself. I come from an IT background, which is one of the reasons why I was able to gravitate to some of this stuff maybe a little bit easier than some of the other people. But being able to get that stuff implemented, it made sense. We knew we needed to automate to free up time to do the more important things, but we had no idea where to start. So it frees up time and helps us to concentrate on other things instead of manually having to go through the marketing part of it that we did automate. The standard operating procedures and the becoming the owners of the business kind of go hand in hand.
Right.
So we've had sitters and walkers working with us for a while. So I don't know if we had a fear of letting go of control, but we did have a little bit of a worry in the sense that we have a pretty strict culture in terms of what we expect from ourselves at these visits, let alone our sitters and our walkers. So implementing those SOPs allows us to be there without having to be there. And some of the other technology that we have, our pet sitting software, allows us to enforce that philosophy and that culture along with the automation stuff, so that we know that the job is being done to our standards. And then obviously having other people doing the work then allows us to become owners, and then we're able to do the important things to grow the business.
Right.
Instead of 15 to 20 visits a day, I'm out, leave at 5:30 in the morning, get back at 10 at night, so.
which isn't a life, as you know.
No,
You to be home with your young kids, you know, it's the grind, and
it is.
working in that vicious cycle and you can't get out. You need to make the time to learn this stuff and implement this stuff to get yourself out of the business. And you guys are well on your way. Do you feel more secure about that now that you are creating a new lifestyle for yourself and your family and your business?
That is probably one of the biggest things that we've taken away. The strategies, the automations, the implementations, those are, for lack of a return, those are like the symptoms, okay? The actual outcome that is the most important that we got out of the class is that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, before, like I said, we were treading water for so many years. Like there was, you know, who knows when it was going to end, but you know, things we're still, you know, we're not quite there yet. I don't know if Jen told you the business, since we've implemented this stuff. I mean, our business has exploded.
I know, it's exciting. 30% increase.
Yes, in sales, and so you know we're still, you know, we're working on managing that amount of growth so quickly, but I can see the end of the tunnel where I'm not going to be, you know, I get a weekend off. Yeah. Which is amazing at this point.
And you hired 3 new sitters.
4 now.
4.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. And you have the whole onboarding campaigns and all of that set up on the back?
Just about. The front end, definitely. In terms of the questionnaire and all the, you know, that stuff. We're still actually working on some of our processes and policies in terms of the onboarding process once we offer them the job.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, it's automated. So
great.
And it's worked great.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that things are going so well. And now you're part of Scholars, which I will be able to help you continue implementing all of this juicy stuff to keep moving your business forward. So what would you say to somebody that was interested in joining the mastermind?
Find a way. Find a way to do it. Because of the, you know, I imagine that most people, the financial aspect of it is probably going to be the biggest, you know, the biggest deciding factor. And if, you know, you need to find a way to get in the class. If you're at that fork in the road where you don't know, you've been, you know, treading water for the last couple years and you don't see an end in sight, find a way, make the investment and get in the class, because otherwise, you know, it's literally a life changer.
Aw, Ed, that's awesome. Well, my star student, it was such a pleasure working with you and Jen, and we'll continue working together. And I can't wait to see all the great things that you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
It was wonderful. And yes, it was, like I said, everything that is advertised that you talk about in the pre-meetings and everything, 100% accurate, 100% worth it. So yes, thank you so much for offering this amazing product.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I love it.
All right.
All right. Well, you take care. I'll see you soon.
You too. Thanks so much, Colleen.
Bye.
Bye.